Well, hello everybody. Welcome back into the Color Gemstone Academy. I am your instructor, Paul Deasy. We're going to go back into the viewer mail, and this will be, I'm going to call this the last word on buying and selling gems, and that'll be coming up in 15 seconds. All right, welcome back into the Color Gemstone Academy. I'm your instructor, Paul Deasy. I want to, first of all, thank all of you. We are closing in on 7,000 subscribers, and that would not be possible if it weren't for you watching, liking, and subscribing to these videos. Well, I get a lot of comments, and for those of you that don't know, you can always leave a comment, whether you like it, whether you don't like it, whatever. I get a lot of comments still about buying and selling gemstones. I'm going to read to you just a couple, I mean, I get a lot of them, but I'm going to just give you a couple of examples of what they're doing and what they're saying. And then I'm going to kind of tell you how we can go forward and how I can help you and how I can't help you. How about that? All right, so for example, Mohammed Yahya says, "Hey Paul, I have approximately 500 carats of rough tanzanite. Can you point me to places that would buy it if possible?" And then we have Rauf, R-A-U-F, Rauf Mohideen says, "Hi, I have lots of gems I'm willing to sell. How do I contact?" Be Realistic says, "Hi sir, I just want to sell gemstones. I am from Pakistan, but still struggling to find a trustworthy customer. Can you please give me a reliable idea?" And then we have, and I apologize if I don't say these names correctly. Alaye Tira says, "Hello sir, I got a silver shining rock I want to sell, but don't know the name, value, and where to sell it. Please help me out. I got it with me and can send pics if required." You're noticing a theme here. And then I have a name that I can't say because it looks like it's in some sort of Arabic or Cyrillic, and it's at user-km5sn4iw212. Says, "Who is interested in buying precious stones?" Precious stones. All right. So I get a lot of this, and I even have had people say, "We really just want to know, have access to some of your manufacturers and speak to them directly." First of all, I'm not going to do that. I can't just give everybody, refer you to manufacturers I've worked with, because it takes a long time to cultivate those relationships, and I can't just, it's like you giving out a phone number of somebody that doesn't want their phone number given out. But that doesn't mean I can't help you in some ways. Okay, so let's talk about the first way. The first way would be, let's say, and I mentioned you can leave comments, and that's what a lot of these are that I'm reading to you. They are simply just comments from viewers like you. Anybody can read those comments, and I try to answer as many of them as I can. But if you're reading a comment from someone and they say they have gemstones to sell, you can reach out to them directly and say, "Hey, what do you got? I may be interested." So that's one vehicle. Now, I can't get involved in that sort of transaction. This is my channel, and I'd love to give you guys all this information, but I can't vet everybody, meaning I can't do background checks on everybody. So if you're communicating with each other and you decide that you want to sell something or buy something from each other, that's fine. I just can't get involved with that sort of transaction. I would probably be liable if I did. Now, I do get a lot of you that are asking, can I send you a picture? I want to identify something. Now, I've told you in the past, I can't make an ID just from a picture, especially as a member of the Gemological Institute of America. So I would always recommend, I could probably give some ideas if it looks similar to something that I've seen before. Like, for example, this, somebody said something about I have a silver shining rock I want to sell, but I don't know the name. And you can send that picture, and I'll give you everybody an address where you can send the pictures if you want. First thing that popped into my mind when this person said that, I thought it's probably could be like hematite. And hematite is an iron ore that looks very silver, but it's really not that expensive and not that valuable. But I don't know that that's exactly what it is. So the second thing to tell you, I have worked with a lot of manufacturers. I know many, many, many people in the business. My current manufacturer, the only one that I've been dealing with probably the last 10 years, is a very, very large manufacturer of very fine jewelry. In fact, he does, if you go to all of these other names that you've known, like Tiffany and these really upscale jewelry stores, Cartier, this is a manufacturer that makes for them. So if you had like an extraordinary sapphire or ruby or diamond or other gemstones that I'm talking about might be in the thousands of dollars of range, and you want that manufacturer to talk to, what I have got them to agree to is that you send me, and by the way, I'm going to give you the email now to contact me with pictures or any other questions. And it's dedicated just to this channel, and it is called, and I'll put it down below so you can see it, pauldcgemstones@aol.com. pauldcgemstones@aol.com, and you'll see that down at the bottom of your screen. So if you want to send a picture, you have something else that you want to talk about off of this channel, we can do that. I may be inundated, it may take me time to get back to you, all right? But if you have, as I said, a parcel of like incredible sapphires or diamonds or rubies or pyrope garnet, and you want to send me a picture, and if I think it's something that this manufacturer can use, I will talk to him, and then I will forward the information to the person who evaluates gems for their company. They are a big company. As far as the rough is concerned, rough, this guy, it's again a big manufacturer of gemstones, he's not really looking at buying big parcels of rough unless he's working, let's say, on a project with a shopping channel, and they request something like which has happened in the past, where they wanted some white buffalo or they wanted some white pristine, and I was probably the only one that had it. He would go to the people that I know at the mines and buy the parcel directly from them. They're very unlikely to buy a parcel of rough from an individual, no matter where in the earth that you may be. Just being completely honest with all of you. Now, that being said, and I've said this before, and that's why I'm sort of calling this the last word on buying and selling gems. When it comes to, I'll give you the example. The one said he has 500 carats of rough tanzanite. All right, he's not likely going to get any of my manufacturers that are just going to communicate with him directly, because they know the mines directly and they're going to go that route. So now the question becomes, how do you sell that? So if you have rough, I would do one of two things, or even if some of the gemstones and my manufacturer's not interested in it. Number one, you can always go, and I say this all the time, there are gem shows all around the world, from little cities here in the United States to major gem areas. And you can always, and you don't have to always be like with the AGTA, the American Gem Trade Institute, or Association. You can always be a member of them and spend a lot of money, but most of these cities that have gem shows, people are putting up tables with their wares, whether it's jewelry, whether it's gemstones, whether it's rough, and you can buy and sell at these shows. Now, you might have to pay something to have the space to do that, but that's a very good way to sell your products. And now let's say it's a piece of jewelry. Maybe it's a piece of jewelry that you don't want anymore, you think it's pretty valuable. I always said you can go to a jeweler. Conversely, I'll give you a great example. They have all of these things like Facebook Marketplace, or offer up, all of these different things you can do on the internet. And I'll give you another great example. I had a boat I didn't want anymore, just recently. In fact, just completed the sale yesterday. And I went to a couple of different boat dealers. Many of them weren't interested in it. Maybe it wasn't a new enough year, who knows, or they were just had too much inventory. And there were other brokers that had contacted me and said, this is the deal and here's what we're going to do. And they might have sold it, but then of course I would have had to pay them their commission and all of that. So I put it on OfferUp, and within a day or two, somebody put in an offer. We agreed on a price. I sold it yesterday. So there's a lot of different ways. I'm not a boat seller. I'm not into the boating business, but there's a lot of ways to sell what it is that you have. So I don't want to sound harsh on this, and I really do appreciate that you want to have somewhere to go to that you can trust. So I'll help you in any way that I can, but I'm going to take all of those things, will be at pauldcgemstones@aol.com. And if you do have pictures, send them at that time so I can give you some sort of idea of what I think. So I hope that that helps some of you. It might disappoint some of you, I don't know. But once again, I thank you so much for watching. If you have not done so, please hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you a penny to subscribe. It's absolutely free. And please hit the like button, or if you have a comment, leave a comment. I'll get to them when I can, but with almost 7,000 subscribers, it's hard to answer everybody. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time on the Colored Gemstone Academy. Bye, everybody.